Hey everybody, we have a new clip with Carl Bildt and John Mearsheimer. John Mearsheimer, he's really sharp regarding the Ukraine-Russian situation. Carl Bildt, he's a Swedish political prostitute that works for the Epstein class. He started his career actually being anti-Russian from when he was what is called like a teenage politician or something. And usually how it works is like you start out as a teenager, you have your own ideas, and then you get in contact with the establishment and you get paid, man. So he got paid for hating Russians. He was a peacekeeper in Bosnia. You could say that he did a very bad job because it resulted in genocide on all sides. If he really cared for Bosnia that much, he would actually just not leave them after the war with the damage they received. He would actually work with them and help them to lift the country up, which he didn't. He didn't care at all. His job wasn't to keep peace in Bosnia. It was to actually harm the Bosnian people and the Yugoslavian people, so they would actually start killing each other. Exactly what they're doing in Ukraine also. The peace isn't the goal, war and murder and the Epstein class is the goal. He loves it. He gets good money for it. So here they're discussing about like the Ukraine situation. It was a debate that was done in 2022. I want to show you a part of the clip where a Norwegian calls Carl Bildt out that he's selling American propaganda, and Carl Bildt's frame falls apart. He becomes self-aware because he knows that he's a prostitute. And I want you to really look closely on what's happening because he knows that he's a prostitute. And he knows that he's selling American propaganda, and he knows that he's being paid. And he's being paid his whole career. His whole career. Let's watch. I'm gonna let the clip roll, and then when it comes to the part, I will stop, and then we will look closer at what happened. We will look at his body language, how he speaks, and the whole situation, how it occurs.
Carl.
No, just go back to sort of the beginning of the war. And you say Russia perceived against potential threat. And so I think you saw as well, probably several times, you've seen this sort of meeting of the National Security Council on February the 21st, when Putin calls in all of the sort of members of the National Security Council and asks them what to do. And it was obvious that it wasn't pre-planned that much. And he asked them one after the other. He wanted one particular answer. We should grab Donbass. That's the answer he wanted. Most of them tried to avoid giving that answer. He had to publicly humiliate his head of external intelligence. The man who was responsible for Donbass said explicitly at that particular meeting that he thought the policy was wrong. There was virtually, the prime minister looked like he had wanted to disappear from the meeting altogether. It was only a couple of them that demonstrated even the vaguest enthusiasm for what they suspected or suddenly saw.
His message is that Putin is the fault of everything. The Russian people are the victim of everything, and they're being held a hostage by Putin. And we need to free Russia from Putin. And that is literally his message. That is the message that the West have sold about the war all the time. It's not the Russians that are the fault, it's Putin. He's an evil dictator. But forget about that we're selling drones and bombing Russian people and murdering them. No, we love them, We're doing it for their own good.
That Putin was intending to do. This was a decision for war driven by President Putin himself.
You see?
It wasn't really supported very much by the Russian security elite. I agree with you. There's certainly no enthusiasm in Moscow for NATO expansion into Ukraine. But there was hardly anyone in Moscow who saw that possibility either. But there was even less enthusiasm, even in the ruling circles in Moscow, I would argue, for going to war with Ukraine. They were forced into it by Putin, and you can see it so vividly clear in that.
What an evil man Putin is. They're so good, these people. These people that defend the Epstein class pedos and lie to people and steal their money and force them into wars and then, corrupt all the politicians. They're very good people. Carl Bildt believes that. Of course he doesn't, man. He's one of the bad people that actually selling his ass to the Epstein class.
That particular meeting that we have the transcript of and that we can see on the video. It was a Putin decision driven by, if you read all of his speeches and his historical vision and how he says it was a mistake to set up Ukraine and it.
Now, a Norwegian calls him out. You see, but look at Carl Bildt's face. Look at Carl Bildt's face. Look at his face. He fucked. He fucked now, man.
Read all of his speeches and his historical vision and how he says it was a mistake to set up Ukraine and it. Är det amerikansk propaganda? Okay. No, sorry, it was Norwegian.
Yeah.
No, it was evident that, so I got lost by particular intervention by this.
He's a planted agent by me.
No, he's a Norwegian agent.
But the question, we come back to the question of deterrence. What kind of deterrent?
You see, what happened right now is that he got caught in his bullshit. He got caught in his bullshit, and a Norwegian just called it out. And if he was secure in his bullshit, and let's say that he really believed in it and it was true, he would be like, what are you talking about, man? I know what I'm talking about. You're talking nonsense. But he's not strong in his frame. So he slipped. He can't come back to whatever he was talking about because he's now uncomfortable. And he's uncomfortable because the truth came at him. So his frame fell apart. And now what happens is that the interviewer, she knows this. She knows that he broke up, that he fell apart, and he can't continue with this propaganda. And you will see Carl Bildt being really nervous. He's trying to collect himself. So you know that story about the naked king, where he thinks that he's like wearing the clothes and it looks fancy, and then a little boy calls him out, "Hey, you're naked," and then boom, reality strikes. And that's what happened right now. So let's go back and you will see it.
No, it was evident that, so I got lost.
You see, he got lost. He fucked up, man. He fucked up now. But look at the interviewer, because she knows that he got lost, and she's actually on his side because she's hired to actually sell his perspective, because she's trying to save his frame now.
Particular intervention by this.
He's a planted agent by me.
No, he's a Norwegian agent.
But
Norwegian. I don't even know what the fuck that means, man. He's trying to do some old like Bellman jokes in Sweden.
we come back to the question of deterrence. What kind of deterrent can we rely on in the present situation and going forward?
What are we deterring in your question?
But you see her face? Look at her face. She's trying to get the show back, but she knows what's going on. Carl Bildt is fucked now. His frame is gone. And she's trying to like bring the focus back.
Deterrence. What kind of deterrent can we rely on in the present situation and going forward?
What are we deterring in your question?
We are deterring an escalation to a nuclear war. We are also deterring future war in Europe, because that is not any longer.
You see what she's doing now? She's selling the idea. She's selling the idea of the West. She's like, we need to deter the future war in Europe. The thing is, like, there was never a war. This was created by CIA. If you want to stop a future war in Europe, you need to actually identify who started this war, who created this war. They use neo-Nazi connections. This is facts. And there's not only this time it has happened, it happened in Yugoslavia. Ex-Yugoslavians that see this war going on, they know, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. They're now doing another Yugoslavia in Ukraine. And this is also how the establishment sold that to the world. Oh, it's another Slobodan Milosevic, you know? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. And they use neo-Nazi connections to actually create this war, because neo-Nazis are extremists and psychopaths, and this is how the Western world creates destructive movements. They support extremists, and you can see that everywhere. You can see that everywhere. They did the same thing in Syria. They see the same thing in Syria. Same thing in Israel. You know, same thing in Yugoslavia. And this is not the first time that they use neo-Nazis to do this. They've done that several times. They did it in Congo when they killed Don Hammarskjöld. They did it in Croatia by supporting the Croatian neo-Nazis. And they're doing it in, in Ukraine, with the Azov Battalion. They have 2 YouTube channels. Oh my God. How can you have 2 YouTube channels on neo-Nazis, man? They're actively killing people, man. And that is so dangerous, because they're creating like a global network of neo-Nazis that will work together, and they will all work for the shadow state, these Epstein class, man, to do extremist things. I'm telling you, man. And that connection never disappeared after the Second World War. They just reestablished them for another purpose. That's what happened. And I can prove it. I can prove it.
What are we deterring in your question?
We are deterring an escalation to a nuclear war. We are also deterring future war in Europe, because that is not any longer.
You see what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, we're doing this. Like, I thought you were an interviewer. You're not doing nothing. We're deterring a nuclear war. No, you're not. You actually want to go to that level, and you want Russia to do the attack so that you will look like heroes, like you did when the Ukraine started.
Longer a guarantee that we have, because this happened in February of 20.
This could have been stopped like this. They could have stopped it like this. They say, okay, here's your area. We're not going to do genocide on Russian-speaking people, or people that see themselves as Russian and Donbass and those southern areas. You guys do your thing, and that's it. No problem. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted to use the Ukrainian people to hurt them, take debts on their name, destroy their history, create a neo-Nazi identity, and they're getting what they want, man. But the Ukrainians are the ones that are suffering the most. It's absolutely, it's terrible. Like, it's really like sad what they did.
What are we deterring in your question?
We are deterring an escalation to a nuclear war.
We
are also deterring future war in Europe.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Because
we're
that
heroes.
is not any longer a guarantee that we have, because this happened in February of 2022. Now, I think that from a European perspective, Putin, this was the sacrilege of Putin, because he broke our illusion. You might call it a delusion, but he was.
You see what I'm saying? Like, she's also selling the idea that Putin did this. She's having the same message as Carl Bildt. Carl Bildt's frame fell apart, and she took over the message and started pushing it. This is a joke. John Mearsheimer is the only one that stands up for reality and what is going on in Ukraine. And he's the one that is anti-war. These guys are for war. And they're selling the idea that they're heroes. Putin broke the illusion.
Now, I think that from a European perspective, Putin, this was the sacrilege of Putin, because he broke our illusion. You might call it a delusion, but it was the illusion that war between.
But look at Carl Bildt, because look at his face. He's screwed up, bro. He's nervous. He doesn't function. Because Carl Bildt, you have to understand, Carl Bildt is a nerd. Okay, he's a nerd and he doesn't have social skills. So look how he's broken down. Like really, he's so nervous, man. Like he doesn't function. Look at him.
Är det amerikansk propaganda? Okay. No, sorry, it was Norwegian.
Yeah.
No, it was evident that, so I got lost by particular intervention. By
Look at
He's a planted agent by me.
No, he's a Norwegian agent.
But the question, we come back to the question of
Question.
we are deterring.
Question. 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 Question.
We are deterring.
We are deterring
An escalation to a nuclear war.
He's so nervous.
We are also deterring future war in Europe.
Get me back.
Because that
Get
is
me
not
back on the horsey, bitch.
any longer a guarantee.
Look at it. He's going down like now he's writing something on the paper. Look at his face. Look at his face, man. He's fell apart.
We have, because this happened in February of.
What are you writing, silly boy? He's drawing a penis, you know. But you see his hand? Like, look at his hands.
Broke our illusion. You might call it a delusion, but it was the illusion
He doesn't
that
know
war
what to
between
do with
nations
himself.
would never return to Europe.
You see what I mean? He doesn't have a frame. He broke down. That's how easy it was to break him down. You just say the truth, and boom, he fell apart. How can your message fell apart so hard, and you can't recover? He can't recover, man. Look at his face. Look at his hand. He doesn't know where to put his body. Look at this.
That from a European perspective,
He's now
Putin,
trying to like disappear in his dick pic
the
picture.
sacrilege of Putin, because he broke our illusion. You might call it a delusion, but it was the illusion that war
where are you
between
going to
nations
put your hands? Where?
would never
Can you
return
find
to
a way
Europe.
to be comfortable? You see, he's trying to make himself comfortable again. He's trying to find his bullshit, his false frame, you know? He can't, he's like, oh, like there's no fucking body position that will make you comfortable on the Epstein class's penis, man. I'm sorry. You're a liar. Everybody sees you're a liar. Look at him, man.
Of Putin, because he broke our illusion. You might call it a delusion.
The peacekeeper, guys. The peacekeeper.
To the European continent.
Try to be comfortable,
this has been a part of the European exceptionalism, and it is now broken. Where does Europe go from here?
Christ. Yeah, man, this guy's a bullshit. Like, all Swedish politicians bullshit like that. They just keep on yapping, man. It's so uninteresting. Like, go to the point, you crazy motherfucker. My point is that he has no opinions. And this is how it works in politics in Sweden. They all work for foreign powers in Sweden. You sell him the script, he needs to go out there and sell you the script. Like, that's it. Here, read this. He's an actor. He doesn't have an opinion. He's not genuine. No, he's not genuine, because if you're genuine, that means that you're based on the truth. Your heart is there. You know, you're bound to the cosmos, man. You can't be moved. You know the truth. You don't fall apart on the Norwegian guy's words. And you know why he fell apart? Because the Norwegian was more truer and based than what he is. That's it. That's all it is. Absolute. One of the biggest process. This one guy was a prime minister in Sweden. Do you understand how sold Swedish politics are? It's been colonialized by the West, by NATO, by the Epstein class. It's been taken over. Sweden is not an independent country. It's extremely dependent on the EU, NATO, American market, and the Epstein class. It's a bizarre. It really is bizarre that he felt. Look at this. Honestly, let's go back.
It was a Putin decision driven by. I mean, if you read all of his speeches and his historical vision and how he says it was a mistake to set up Ukraine and it. Är det amerikansk propaganda? Okay. no, sorry, it was Norwegian.
Yeah.
No, it was evident that, so I got lost by...
Of course you got lost, man, because the fucking truth came out. Silly boy. Of course you got lost. You got lost when the truth came because you realized, yo, this is truth. This is the right path. What a joke of a man, honestly. This is Swedish politics, bro. This is Swedish politics. A bunch of prostitutes that protect pedophiles, genocide, and money, man. I don't even know. I don't even know why they like money so much. Like, what do you need the money for if you are only gonna live in the lie? Like, are you that cheap? Are you that cheap, man? This is why they sell you a democratic system, because if it was true democracy, the establishment would be against it because they will lose power, you know, because the people will automatically go against the rich establishment. They're sleeping with children, murdering people, and sponsoring extremist groups. They give you the illusion of democracy. They give you the illusion of democracy so that where they are in control. So they buy up all these politicians and present them, and then you go like, yeah, you can choose. But they're already bought. It don't matter who you choose because the country is going to go one way. And that is the way of the establishment, the Epstein class, the people that actually have all the money and all the power. And this guy, look at his face, man. He's like, he caught, man. He don't have no frame. Look how he's smiling, you know what I mean? They just want to get out of this shit, you know. Look at it.
Particular intervention by this.
He's a planted agent
He literally gets more red in the face as the time goes. Look at
by
this.
me.
No, he's a Norwegian
nervous.
agent.
But the question, we come back to the question of deterrence.
He's
What
screwed
kind
now.
of
His
deterrent?
face is more red now.
We are also deterring
Yep.
future
Yep,
war
that's
in
what
Europe.
we're doing.
Because that is
Yeah.
not
Get me back on
any
that
longer
horsey so I can
a
lie again.
guarantee that we have,
Yep.
because this
Let
happened
me draw a little
in
penis on
February
the
of
paper.
2022. Because he broke
He's going through his script, you know what I mean? I don't even know why he has a script. If he look at Mearsheimer. Does he have a script? Look at him. Look at him. Look how fucking comfortable. He's like, yeah, man, I'm riding with the cosmos. I ride with love and the truth and God. I don't need the script. I just need to tell the truth. This guy, he has a whole block of bullshit, man, he needs to go through. He don't even know what he needs to say, man, that's bullshit, you know what I mean? He can't remember it because it's so much bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Look at this.
our
What a
illusion.
joke.
You might call it a delusion, but it was the illusion.
Yeah, it's an illusion, sweetie. That's what you live in. It's an illusion, and you can find the illusion in his blog. Yeah.
That war
Next to the penis picture he drew. He drew a little Epstein micro penis, you know what I'm saying?
now
Look at
broken.
him. It's
Where
fucked up,
does
man.
Europe go
You
from
can't
here?
swallow in a
See,
blah, blah,
I have
blah,
got
blah,
the place.
blah. Look at Mearsheimer. He's like, shut the fuck up, Carl Bildt. Let me just tell you the truth. I don't even need a script. I don't know what kind of a block of a paper you have there, man, but the only thing you can use it for is toilet paper. You crazy psychopath, man. Crazy psycho. He was the peacekeeper in Bosnia. Do you think that his job was to make peace in Bosnia? Do you think that? Do you think he loves the Bosnian people that much? Do you think that if he loved the Bosnian people, that he will call out who's creating the wars, the CIA, the terrorists and the extremists, they're there. And then after the war was over, he will be there and really settle it and build the country back and unite the people of Bosnia. Do you really think that? Do you really think that he's a Bosnian friend? He's a war criminal. He's a war criminal. He has made money out of this thing. He has made money out of murdering people. He even worked for the Swedish weapon industry. How can you go from peace politician to weapon politician. Like, how you go from, you know what I mean? It's like, imagine if I worked for the church and then I went and sold guns. Like, what? Excuse me? You're gonna believe in Jesus and then go sell guns? Yeah, I'm for peace. You know what I mean? I think we need more guns for more peace. What are you talking about, Carl Bildt?
I think that with regard to your question, which is obviously a truly important one, Carl and I think about this very differently. The question.
That's for sure. That's for sure, John. If you actually want to listen to wisdom and understanding of how situations are, listen to John here. Listen to Carl, his toilet paper. His toilet paper.
Question of how to create deterrence and prevent nuclear escalation. Let's just go back to 2014 when the crisis breaks out. Crisis breaks out in 2014.
John.
You see what and now he interrupts him. Now well, John, wait. Don't go back to 2014 when the shit went down and where the Ukrainian neo-Nazis start doing civil war on people that had the wrong ethnicity. Let's stop there.
Short question. How would you prevent nuclear escalation?
Well, I'm going to answer. I'm trying to sort of separate myself from you or differentiate between how we think about this to sort of get my hands around this whole issue, because it's a great question.
John, Carl isn't thinking. He's just reading a script. But it's a nice compliment that you give him that respect.
And these are complicated issues that don't have simple answers. But
by the way, I'm not drinking alcohol. This is Coca-Cola, man. I just want to have a classy Coca-Cola drink, you know what I mean? Actually, it's not Coca-Cola. Forget what I said.
If you could play this one all over again, it's December 17th, 2021. I said at the time, and I'd say now, that's where we should have backed off and worked out a deal. Because otherwise...
The thing is, they couldn't do that because the goal wasn't to make peace in Ukraine. It's not about harmony and peace and developing Ukraine and giving them freedom. The plan was to sacrifice them, to kill them, to destroy the brotherhood between Ukrainians and Russians. They have to do that. They manufactured an enemy and history. They on purposely hurted the Ukrainian people. This is a human sacrifice supported by the West.
You end up with February 24th.
And the Epstein class, baby.
4th, right? So I think I know what I would have done before February 24th. But backing off now, it's almost impossible for me to imagine us backing off now because I'm a minority voice. Carl is the majority voice.
Exactly.
He's not interested in backing off. He's interested in doubling down.
Exactly. Exactly. That's your peacekeeper. That's your peacekeeper. Carl Bildt, the peacekeeper, doubling down on killing people. That's what it is. And he's the majority. That means that the Epstein class, the rich people, wants the war because they make that money. That sweet, sweet honey.
I'm a hardcore realist. I'm an offensive realist. I understand of being hard-nosed in international politics. But I'm more dovish, I think, than you when you're dealing with a state that has thousands of nuclear weapons.
That's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys. The thing is, like, Carl Bildt is a prostitute. Sweden is being taken over by the Epstein class and the outside forces. It's not an independent country. Your democracy has been compromised. And the only alternatives you have now is to vote for political parties that go against Islamification, the Jewish lobby, EU, NATO, and the Epstein class. That's the only way you will be free. In all other ways, you won't, man. You won't. I'm very sorry. You need to remove all the extremists. You need to remove all the corruption. And at the moment, the establishment doesn't want that because they're all bought up. They're all prostitutes. And I don't even know what they need the money for. Like, come on, man. Like, What the hell do you need all that money for? You really would kill babies and support genocide? For what? What are you saving money for? Like, I don't understand. Like, well, you need a new Ferrari or some shit like this? Like, what do you need it for? Wow, that's Carl Bildt. Imagine making a whole career like this. Because Carl Bildt did. Just lying to people. That's crazy. And then somebody caught him with the truth, and he fell apart. Absolutely crazy. That is crazy. I don't know what to say. I just wanted to show you that clip. See you until next time.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more and drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think.